And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. All right, check is Twitch is sounding good. Oh, I don't have the YouTube up. Where's the YouTube? Oh, I don't have the YouTube up. Where's the YouTube? There we go. And a red fish, blue fish. All right. Oh, I don't have the YouTube up. Where's the YouTube? There we go. And a red fish, blue fish. All right. I think we're good to go. Charles, welcome. Glad to see you, man. I hope you, I guess you fared the storm well enough to get back to Twitch. I hope everything is going well. I hope it wasn't too bad for you. What am I doing? I'm working on a rogue outfit. That's what we're doing today. We were working on this yesterday. I think I've got too many parts. So anyhow, I want to put some little pouchies on here. We'll do this. I've got the boots. I think we're ready to start moving stuff out of Marvelous Designer. So I think we're going to start that today. I have the boots already it looks like the boots are already done in Blender. If I can figure out where didn't I just have that open? Dangity dang it. There it is, boots. Anyhow, so there's the boots. They're, I think, all ready to go out of Blender into Daz. Let me just double check the UV maps on these and see how they're looking. If I actually did that. If not, I'm going to try to finish that. Yeah, that looks like it's all done. All done and ready for some exporting. Okay, so we're going to put that off to the side. We were lucky, never lost power. Yay! But they've been bringing you in later because of how bad the roads are. So you were working during Monday's stream. Oh, nuts. Oh well. All right, let's the major oh, you know what I have to do? This is sticking through that and it has to do with the layers, so we're going to tweak the layering on this. I'm going to select all of this and we're going to set that. I got to check something here. Whatever I set these to, those are set to 10. So this needs to be more than 10 so that it stays on top. Because right now those little loops are poking through. So we're going to just select the whole cloak here. And we're going to make you layer 15. And we're going to do that so that this pops out from there like that. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to hit save. We're going to turn gravity off. Yeah, we got about a foot of snow. I'm going to put gravity on, but light. And I spent much of about an hour and a half to 2 hours yesterday clearing it off the drive. And then we just got a little bit of dusting of snow today. But it's not enough I can do anything about. So there's that. Simulation properties. Let's try just a light amount of gravity just to let the cloak kind of maybe settle downward a little bit. We're going to do that. We're going to stop that. We're going to select everything. We're going to hit the K to unfreeze everything. We're going to load in the Genesis 8 base shape for this. Add to workspace as a morph target. And I'm going to say okay. We're going to impatiently wait. There's more coming this weekend. No. Of course, it's still the middle. Well, it's almost February. February often can be colder than even January. All right, I think we're done. I think we're ready to export out the parts. And then we'll put it to Genesis. I'm going to kick the gravity up just a little bit to get that to maybe come down a little bit more. So we'll stop that. Come over here. We'll increase gravity up just maybe to minus 2,000. What I want you to come this way. This is mostly acting all right. Except it is a little fidgety, isn't it? All right, I think we're gonna run gravity up just maybe a little bit more. Simulation properties. Let's try -3, 1, 2, 3. Nope. Let's try. Let's just set the gravity back to the default of -9800. See how that goes. -9800. You know, that thing just doesn't want to, really just doesn't want to relax and act like a knot for me, does it? It's like I'm almost there. If it would just droop a little bit more. Maybe what we'll do is we'll try. Actually, if I do this, I think it's going to get wonky. Actually, that's not too bad. Let's try this one over here. Strengthening it often makes it really finicky. And what have I got selected there? This is, I think maybe I'm just going to make the weight of the material a little heavier. So what do I got selected here? I got at the ends. Let's come over here. Let's come down here to the details. And what we're looking for is the weight. I think maybe can tweak the thickness. I'm actually looking for the weight though. Did I miss it? It's like something in grams per meter or something like that is what I'm looking for. I'm not seeing it. I was hoping if I could just increase the weight, maybe it'll droop a little bit more. That's what our thought was. So we're just going to kind of go through here carefully, checking all of this out. Okay, so we're in physical properties. These are stretches, shears, bending, buckling, buckling, internal dampening. Wait, there's a weight. Maybe we just increase you. And let's try that maybe. What do you go to? Do you just like go to 100? There we go. That's what I wanted right there. That looks like the way a knot can should sort of. All right, I think we're ready to start exporting out. Let's just double check our UVs. So I think excuse me. So we have this all nicely mapped out. We're going to export the cloak out. We're going to export the bracers together. We're going to export the top, and we'll export the bottom and the belt separately. So let's go back to here, and we'll start working on that stuff. We'll start with the cloak. File, export, OBJ selected. Night Veil Cloak, G9. I misspelled cloak. I'm going to cancel that. Try again. Cloak. There we go. That's better. Thin and welded and meters, so that's looking fine. Okay, let's get the bracers out of here. I'm going to select that and that. And I think I've got that. So file, export, OBJ selected. I did the bracers once before, but we've updated them since then. Say okay to that. So let's select the top, which should be all of this right here. OBJ selected. I'm just going to call you top. All right, is good. And we'll do the pants. And I need to still do the belt. Looking good. And then, I don't know, can I just get all of that? Hopefully. And that'll be the belt. And now we'll do this for is good. Let's do a save here. File, save as project. Yeah, this will be outfit G9. And then we're going to reopen. I should save out versions for the G9 female. So let's do that. There we are. So same thing. I think this is all good to go, except for that knot. We're going to fix the knot. That actually isn't too bad, but we now know what we're doing. And I have no idea where, you know, I'm just going to select that and that. And that should be this one here, laces end. Click on that. We're just going to crank that weight up to 100 and do that and let that settle down a little bit. I'm going to stop that for a second. Let's I had strengthened these so they hold their shape a little better, so we'll do that here. Hope that works. And I think I've got a kind of a decent look there. So we're going to run with this. File, export, OBJ selected. This is going to be the cloak. G9 female. I'll say femme. Makes it easier to spot if I add a little more definition to it. I think that's good. I think that's good. All right, bracers. We actually have a version of femme braces in there, so we'll overwrite that. I think I'll actually delete it. Save as. Export OBJ section. There we go. I'm going to actually just delete that. Click on this. Call that femme. If the auto fit doesn't make nice shapes, we can revert back to these. All right, do the pants. Pants, G9, bam. Actually, part of me is thinking I should do the bracers, the top, and the pants together as a group. So I think we're going to do that. And then I'll break them apart in whatchamacallit, in Daz. Uh, so change the plan. This is part of the reason why you save parts. I am going to save these out separately, but then we'll put it back together again. Top G9 Fem. Save that. Okie dokie. And we'll get the belt. There we go, belt. Okie dokie. All right, and then, you know what? All of this, except for the belt. We'll unselect the belt. Because I do want the belt to be separate. This I'm going to call outfit. File, export, OBJ selected. Outfit. Okay, probably good. All right, we're going to adjust the gravity. And then we're going to fit it to the Genesis 8 female shape. So we'll bring that in. As a morph target, should be good. Actually, I'm going to cancel this. I want to hit save right here. And then we'll fit it to the Genesis 9 female. Bump, bump. Morph target. Okay. And we impatiently wait while it does its thing. We're going to redo that. Actually, that's probably okay. Let's see where our crotch is. That's gotten a little low in there. Probably okay. Oh no. I'll have to put gravity back on to fix that. Hold on. That darn knot. 9800. All right, let's see if we can get that belt dropped into a nice spot. I like the way that's going. Oh no, I lost the top. You know what? Let's freeze the top. Actually, if I do this, I want to go back. Back to there. Let me see if I can. I've got an unsewn edge in here. I have to redo all of this. What the hell? Why are you? Oh, no, 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 wait. You're supposed to be a cut and sew. Why are you? Okay, I have to redo the tops and the outfits because we had an unsewn thing in here. So we're going to revert back. We'll revert back to this. I'm not going to save that. I think if I open up the 9 version and sew that back in, it probably should be fine. I want to just check and make sure I still have, so that was supposed to be sewn in. This shape was a little funky anyhow. I probably wanted to tweak it in. We'll see how this goes. Everything's floating. All right. Before everything floats, I'm going to try to make the figure really sticky. So we'll crank up the, like so. And now let me see if this is going to, maybe I can strengthen this up and get a little bit better shape out of it. I think that's going to work. Okay, I think that's going to do. I'm going to freeze these in place so they don't move. We're going to adjust the gravity back up to get that knot to hang proper again. And everything else. So I think that'll be good. You know what? I'm just going to export out everything again just to be sure. So let's hit save on here because this is a good spot for this. Let's re-export the cloak. And we're exporting the FEM versions of everything. And I am totally in the wrong folder now, aren't I? Because that's just the way we roll around here. There, we're going to export you. Check and check. Okay. Export this and that. These shouldn't change, but I'm just being safe. Bracers, bracers, bracers. G9 fem. You know, I didn't export that out, did I? And I may not even need this. Okay, let's do the top. Top fem. Probably good. Let's get the belt. Belt fem. There we go. Let's get the pants. Oops. I think I did just get the belt. All right, let's get everything but the cloak and the belt. Call that outfit. I can't see if I got everything. I did not get everything. Let's try that again. Okay, I think that's good. Did I do an outfit? I did. There it is right there. Okay. All right, we're going to refit to the 9. So I'm going to make sure we get a save point here. Let's adjust the simulation settings for the, and I'll make you minus 2000. These I have to unfreeze. Kind of like that. And now we'll fit that to the base. Add to workspace. Load as a morph target. Say OK. It does its thing. I see it moving. I see it moving. I see it stopped. All right. We're going to reapply gravity right after I freeze those so it holds the top in place. So let's put our simulation properties back up here and reset that back to minus 9800. Okay, let's do that so the knot can kind of settle down. I think I just maybe pull it down a little bit. And I think I'm happy with that. Alrighty. File, save as, project. That's the G9. All right, once again, export the cloak. Do I want to replace it? Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, get the bracers. Right there. Get the top. Yo, Rod, how are you doing? Thank you for the happy affiliate, by the way. And thank you too, Charles, for that. I forgot to say that before. I always thought, for some reason, I thought it was in February, but I guess it's January when I first became an affiliate. Now I'm making that big Twitch money. uh, export as OBJ selected. This is going to be the G9 top. We're working on the rogue outfit today. How's everything with you, Rod? How's your snow looking? Joe had the surgery and all went very well. Yay! File, export, OBJ selected, belt. I'm glad to hear that. So she's in the rehab center now, is that it? You pop over there every day. OBJ selected. This is going to be the pants. Okay, we're going to select all of this and not select, and then deselect the belt. I think something like that, I hope. Dang it, that didn't work. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, I'm going to say this is outfit G9. I'm optimistic I'll be able to take the outfit. She is in the rehab center doing well. Hopefully she can come home. Hope so. All right, that is done. I'm going to hit save on that. We're going to reopen the G9 feminine version and then fit that to Genesis 8 female. So file, open, project. That one right there. Say okay. We're going to double check a couple things. We're going to reactivate those. We're just going to double check and make sure our simulation properties are set to, I think, minus 2000 worked kind of nicely last time. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll come over here and we'll load the shape in as a morph target. And then we wait for the legs to do the thing. Probably good. All right, we're going to stop that. I'm going to refreeze these and we'll turn gravity back on. And you're buried in paperwork with all these computers, AI and whatever. There's still paperwork. Ugh. Sorry about that, man. Simulation properties back to minus 9800. I think that's going to be fine. All right, we're ready to start exporting. Oops. Let's stop that. My cloak looks a little crooked. It's probably okay. All right, let's start exporting things. Let's do a file save as, though, before we move on. So I'll save as project. This will be the G8 female. It's kind of a pain, but I like to spell out female. It just makes it easier for me to see what's what. Okay, I think I had the cloak selected, but I wasn't sure. Okay, file, export, OBJ selected. We're going to say I'm in the wrong folder now because I touched something. Okay, we're going to go, we're doing the cloak, and this is going to be 9 female, 8 female. And that looks good. Okay, let's do the bracers. Not that I'm probably not going to use this, but since I'm here, I think it's just a good idea to get it all exported out at once, so I don't have to really think about it too much later on. Only bad news is it doesn't look like the Air Force is going to. Oh, man. I'm sorry about that. I thought you were on good terms with the Air Force, too. Export OBJ selected. Top. G8 female. Thin and welded in meters. We're good. All right. Let's get the belt. File, export, OBJ selected. Belt. G8 female. Okie dokie. And let's get the pants. And then I'm going to save as a file, export, OBJ selected. Pants. I may not need this one either, but just in case. Now we're going to do what I'm going to call an outfit. So all of this without the belt. Right there. We'll do that. Genesis 8 female. I did this once. I'm redoing it. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, have I saved you? I have saved you as female. All right, let's hit save on that. So I think we're ready to start putting it together in Daz. So let's get Daz up here. Let's put Marvelous Designer away. And let me just make sure I'm not running a sim or something in here. I am running. You know what? I'm going to close. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to close Marvelous Designer so I don't have it eating up resources in the background. And what we're going to do is we're going to Load in our Genesis 9 base. All right, let's load stuff in here. Cloaks are always a little weird. I'm not sure how I'm going to rig the cloak. I think what I might do with the cloak is just make it all a neck part or something and then have it so that it doesn't have any, it doesn't deform with any of the other body shapes. We'll see. We'll start off with activate import. Let's go over to here. Let's head down to the projects. Let's go to fantasy and Night Vale and in the whip folder. And I am looking for that one right there, outfit G9. Looking good. So I'm going to rig these three parts at once. Later on, I will separate them, but for right now, it's a little easier to work on them in one happy family like this. That is wrong thing. That's what I want right there. Select Genesis 9 favorites. Select Night Vale outfit. This is pretty tight. We're going to call this a tight body template and accept that. So I think that's good. Let's come back over here. So let's do the stuff we need to do. Let's clean up all the names, all the material names, right in here. Get rid of all the garbage that Marvel's designer thinks that's important. So important, I have to delete it off every time. So their idea of important, my idea of important, obviously different things. I still have to get boots in here. We still have to get the daggers and the scabbards in here. I'm still going to make pouches? Maybe a couple of pouches. I don't know. I think I'm overwhelming myself. Is what I'm thinking here. All right, that is done. Are you poking through in there? You know, I'm probably going to smooth this out a little bit, I think. Or maybe not. This shape isn't that important, although I might still smooth. I probably should smooth it out in Blender because ZBrush is goofy. Anywho, that's good there. Let's come over here. Let's put the D-Force modifier on there. Boop. Let's simulate really quick and see if anything bad happens. That's fine. That's fine. All right, we're gonna do right off the bat. We change this number. Always change that number. Clear the simulation. I think I'm gonna make the whole thing a little bit stiffer to start with, like maybe point 0.9. We'll do that. We'll save this. Let's put on my generic shader. And then let's add the smoothing modifier and increase the resolution on the mesh. I'm in the wrong, so come back over to here. Edit geometry, convert to sub D, and then edit geometry. Add the smoothing modifier. Come over here. right here, mesh smoothing. I like this to be generic, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to hit that memorize button. And we're going to save this out. Did I set up a Night Vale folder yet? I did. Okay, excellent. So where did we leave off? Is there anything in here? There is nothing in here. So we just set it up. So let's save this. I'm going to come in here though, and we're going to change the scene identifier just a little bit. I'm going to take off that number, and we're going to remove that. This isn't really important at this point, but that's probably going to be okay. And then we'll save as a figure prop asset. Head over to here, go to the fantasy folder, go to Night Vale, people, Genesis 9, clothing, me, outfit. This should actually say Night Vale. Did I spell Vale right? I don't. Suddenly I can't spell. I did spell it right. Excellent. Um, and then in here we have Night Vale outfit G9. And do I have a product yet? I do not have a product, so this will be Night Vale. I think I spelled that right. And this stuff is good for right now. Okay, I want to do a quick shape test. So we'll do that. Let's see how the base feminine shape looks. Okay, we can probably do better. And we saved a version with the base feminine shape. So we're going to bring that in. But I can't spell, I can't remember the name of this morph. So what I need to do is find a where I list these names, G9 morphs. That one right there, that's the base feminine underscore body underscore BS underscore body. Because why not say body twice? Okay, use the MorphLoader Pro, choose a file. I'm going to head over here. I'm going to take that one right there. Open that. We're going to change the name of this though, because that needs to say this. It's the morph name. Should be good. I should be able to get away with just accepting this, and this should. Did not work. Did I have the right thing selected? I had the wrong thing selected again. I swear I do that like half the time, I feel. All right, let's try this again. Outfit G8, G9 Fem. Okay. Remember to change the name of this. All right, now let's see if this works. There we go. That's a little better. I'm probably going to clean that up even a little bit more in ZBrush. And I might have to, if the nipples are too high, I might have to adjust this. I can never tell where the nipples are on these goddamn figures because they're not in the geometry. I think I will just, if I smooth it out in ZBrush though, I'm going to probably update it later with Blender to get a better shape for that. Anywho, so that's good. I'm going to just hit save so I can save that morph out. And now we'll move on to, I'm going to reset that. Let's get the cloak in here. Bum, 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 bum. You're my import right there. Actually, I'm right there. We're right next to belt. Let's do the belt. We'll tweak the belt later. Let me put D-Force on the belt. Let's run the sim. Oh no, that wasn't sewn properly. I gotta re-export the belt. Dang it. See, this is why you test this shit. All right, let's come back. You know what I need to do? You can go away. So I do have to redo a little bit of stuff in Marvy. I think I thought I had that sewn on there. Dangity dang it. I'm going to save the fem belt out as a garment and then I can reload it in. So file open project. Sarah said you don't have to fix the top. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I'm not doing shorts for this one too, by the way. Sorry, Charles. Um, I have an idea for after this for a Greek inspired outfit that we'll have a long and a short version. So my issue is these parts aren't sewn in properly. So those look like they're sewn there. It looks like it's sewn into here. So why is it coming apart? I'm going to cheat. We're going to open the arm base. Will be good enough. She can just wear the cloak, right? No, she won't even wear the cloak. Um, Yo, Kia Ora, Kiwi, how are you doing? Kiwi Hawk down under NZ. What did you have to make a new username for Twitch? Dude, that's weird. Oh no, you're over on YouTube. Oh, you're on YouTube. There we go. Because over on YouTube, there's some other rat bastard who thinks they're a Kiwi Hawk. That was forced by YouTube. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to fix my belt. Let's import the belt into here. And that's the current broken belt. We'll start with that one. So I got welding that's off on here. You didn't weld at all on either side. What the hell? Oh, I know what it is. It's because this is goddamn internal line, and it's not a cut and a sew. You know what? I'm just going to fix it down here. I'm going to select that. So we're going to select this, and then we're going to select these, and we'll just do a merge by distance. And I have to tweak that so that those snap close like that. Oh, actually, did it get the whole thing? It didn't. No. You know what? Let's just try. My mesh tends to be. That's looking a little janky, isn't it? I don't know. Let's just do a merge by distance and see if that. Probably going to be okay. Although I should probably just fix it over here. And then I have to resew shit. God damn it. You know what? I'm just going to do this for now. I'll angst over this later. Since I'm in here, I'm going to... What is... First, last, done. Il forno. Well, welcome in. I'm going to clean this up real quick. This is the kind of the loop with kind of fakes the belt on it. I'm going to just turn that into a nice little circle. Come down here. Turn that into a nice little circle. This will make it, when I make a belt buckle later on, easier. Then I'm just going to G-stretch these straight. And I'm going to say projected. That's not the way I want to do it. Let's try that again. Loop tools, G-stretch. Maybe spread evenly. No, I don't want spread evenly. Spread. Spread works. We're going with spread. Loop tools, G-stretch. Probably good. Can I do 2 at once? Loop tools, G-stretch. I think that kind of worked. And I have that one right in there. Had I planned this better, I could do this in 3 instead of 6 or 5. All right, so that gives me a nice, neat little shape there. I'm going to go with that. We're going to save this out and load it back into Daz. So activate export. Creator complaining they losing incomes. I missed what Kiwi was talking about. I'm done with YouTube. They run so many damn ads in their videos lately. You refuse to pay them to not see. That's stupid. Yep. You get a bucket of pop-ups over my ad blocker. Damn it. Creator complaining they're losing income. I can see that. It gets so annoying. It's and shitification at work, man. It's the people that can squeeze money out of that are important. I'm going to resave over the belt. Not that one, but that one. Let's choose my Daz preset, so that'll just save just the selected. I'm going to export that. And then this is what we're going to bring back into Daz. So, are you my import? You are my import. You know what? I'm going to do this so it's a little easier to find things. And do that in there. And I'm going to double check. We're going to select our belt. We're going to put D-force on it. We're going to run the simulation again to make sure it doesn't come apart anymore. That's what it's supposed to do. Ignore the top for now. That's fine. We're going to cancel that. Everything's fine. Nothing's exploding. We're good for now. All right, let's rig the belt. Transfer tool. Genesis 9 favorites. Genesis 9 belt. I'm going to use I think I'll use the tight template on this as well. Accept that. Let it do its thing. All right, its thing has been done. Yo, SROM, how are you doing? I'm running a simulation within the simulation. It's a meta simulation. Keep track, man. Dude, how are you doing? One of the most awesome musicians on Twitch is in the house, baby. There you go. We have an SROM command just for SROM. He's that cool. I think Fridays he co-streams with Catherine, and I tend not to catch those. Saturday night though, he's got the super cool Original music to old silent films. It's always a good time on Saturdays. Hard work day, feeling pretty toasty. I'm sorry, dude. I hope you can get some good rest, man. Did I do that? All right, I did that. All right, let's make sure we got D-Force on there. We're gonna come over here. Oh, I gotta clean these up, don't I? All right. Uh, it doesn't matter. Let's do this. Let's apply my generic shader. And for D-Force, let's make sure my bend stiffness is set to 0.1. I'm going to tweak the D-Force strength on this to 0.6 for starters. Make it fairly not move a whole lot to begin with. Then we're going to come over here and fix these names. Which one are you? Oh, you're the little loops. You're the belt. And you know what? I should probably put a separate material on here as well. Um, I'm going to call that end. So here, we're going to call you are, and I don't, you know what? I'm going to rename these. They're not going to be pants anymore because they're not part of the pants. This is going to be belt, loop. This is going to be just belt. And get rid of that garbage that Marvelous Designer thinks I need. Attachments should be these teeny little pieces right in here that I will delete later on. Make an unbuckled version of the belt. Okay, I'm going to hide everything. I need to get in here and just select parts of this and assign it to its own material. Oh, and you're not going to say. And you know what might be a good idea if I spelled belt correctly? I'm just thinking. Just a thought. Just an odd thought. Was working for duty was working for took you out for a hearty meal. Oh man. Yeah, that'll put you out. Hot, muggy, and clammy. Yeah, we got a little more than 12 inches of snow on Sunday, and I spent a fair amount of time yesterday cleaning it off the drive. Now Charles is cursing me with more snow. It's not Charles's fault. I'm going to blame Mitch McConnell. Um, all right, can you zoom in on? Nope. My clipping distance is goofy in Daz. All right, I'm going to select this. I can't see what I'm doing. You know what? I think I can do this in baby steps. Maybe. I think I can loop select that and assign that to a new material. And I'm going to call you belt end. I just need something so I can manipulate that D4 settings on that separate from everything else. So accept that, and then I'm going to hide it because it makes it easier to work. So I think I can do, there we go. I got those two and I can loop select those. So we'll get all of that on the edge there. Sign you over like that. Hide you all. Then I can come over here and select connected and assign you. And I can hide all of that just to make sure I got selected what I wanted. Most excellent. Mandatory to blame somebody else. Yeah, definitely. How is the demon spawn still alive? That's actually the way it works. when you when you sold your soul to the devil. Only if that devil is Donald Trump, you're fucked. um, sorry, enough politics. On to belts. On back onto belts. Um, So I'm gonna, you know what? I need to reapply D-force because now I've got a new material in here that doesn't have D-force on it. And I'm just gonna copy and paste this surface onto that one to get all the settings. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, comedian, eh? Oh no. We've hurt Rod's ears. Sorry, Rod. What is going on over here? Oh no. You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be outside like the rest of your kin. I'm going to have to update this geometry. We got to fix that. I think we still have that open in Blender, so we can still come in here and fix that. How annoying. Oh, bother. So I'm just going to turn, you know what, I got that turned on. You know what, I think I'm just going to kind of do this and expand, kind of do that and expand and kind of do that. And I think I just got to grab those two and pull all that stuff out. And then I have to kind of try to make a nice, neat shape out of that. I can probably kind of do a flatten through here. And I might be able to do some smoothing. Let's start with a flatten. So that gets those in one nice, neat shape like that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. That didn't work, did it? Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. That was it. Then I think it's a matter of maybe I'll just kind of visually get these lined up. Now I'm just going to try to spread these out. Chris, do you not use the Wii checkbox in the drop down for proportional editing? I have it turned off right now. Oh, for the connected? Yeah, but it's all connected right now. I'm not doing the proportional editing for this right now. Because I just kind of want to, whoops, see? It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to look more loopy than it did before. And that looks more loopy than it did before. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit more, I think. I think that's probably going to be okay. So we're going to save this out and then we'll update the geometry in Daz with this. So we should be able to do that. Select this. Come over here to the button I stuck on the side that says update geometry. Select that belt and accept. And I'm going to put that there so I can watch it do its. There we go. All fixed. Yay. I think I'm good. Did I review yet? I think I did. Okay, there's a few more things we're going to do. Edit geometry, convert to sub D, edit geometry. Do I want a smooth modifier on here? You know what? I'm going to put one on here and we can turn it off later if we have to. But with the smooth modifier on, I like to make sure that we are using the generic smoothing instead of the base match shape. You check it if you want to move everything, and uncheck it if you want to move the selected. Yeah, I mean, I do that. I have it up on the top somewhere. I don't have a simple. Is there just a simple box, or do I have to just keep coming up to here? Is that what you're talking about? I think we're good. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to save this. All right. Right there. Save as a figure prop asset. Come over here and say belt. All right, I spelled belt correctly that time. You are Night Veil. You are a Night Veil belt G9. Actually, I'm going to cancel that for just a second because I want to tweak the scene identifier. I'm in the wrong thing. I have to go over to scene, edit scene identifier. I want to simplify this right there. BRB, coffee calls. All right, see you when you get back, Rod. All right, now we're going to save as a figure prop asset right in here. I'm going to say belt. And now we're good to go. Product is Night Veil. Night Veil belt J9. You know what? I can set you to say you're an accessory for the waist. And the rest of that's good. All right, let's do the cape. I'm going to go ahead and bring this all back. There's my import button. I'm going to redo this and something. Cloak. We're going to the cloak. And I want that one right there. And let's just check our D-force with that. All right, nothing exploded and everything kind of held in place. Hey, Chris, you're going to hop off here, having trouble keeping you. All right, thanks for being here, Charles. Always a pleasure to catch you, man. All right, we're looking good. Cancel that. Clear that. All right, I think. You know what? I'm just going to call this full body loose and I'm going to rig it later. It's going to be completely deforced anyhow. But I haven't quite figured out the best way to work with this just yet. So let's just, here, I'm just going to run with the transfer tool. Genesis 9, cloak. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call you a dress, but you're going to be a loose template dress. And I'm just going to accept that. All right. Cloak, let's go over to surfaces. Let's make sure we add a deforce modifier. Let's put my generic shader on here. Is good. I gotta clean these up. Bend stiffness, set you to 1. Let's do a couple things over here. Edit. You know, we'll do the scene modifier, and I'll just change that to say cloak. Couple other things. Edit geometry, convert to sub D. Edit geometry, add the smoothing modifier. Mesh smoothing, I'm going to switch you over to generic, hit save on that. Okay, now we're going to clean up those surface names. Cloak clasp, get rid of that garbage. Get rid of that garbage. Get rid of that. And grab. All right, should be good. I think I'm ready to just save this now. I'm probably going to go ahead and make the clasp and the collar stiffer later on. But for right now, I think we're good. We still have to do the boots. I'm going to rig the boots next, I think. We'll do that tonight. Then we'll do a hack job of getting this converted to G9 or G8. Save. I'm ready to save. I think. Click. So your cloak. I got too many. There we go. That's better. Your night veil. You are, I'm going to call you an accessory something. Outerwear. Do we want to just say your outerwear? I think I'm just going to say call you outerwear. Top. We'll say outerwear top. Okay, so that's saved. I think the boots are ready. The boots are actually in here somewhere. Let's just take a quick look in my UV. UVs look good. Let me check my surface names. I think my surfaces are looking good. Boot, sole, trim, interior. I think I'm ready to export this. All right. Yep, selected only. And something in here. Boots. I may have done this already, but we're going to do it again because I can't remember. And now we're going to rig the boots. We're going to have to pose the feet. I may be able to do this without the instructions this time. We'll see. Also, I want to make sure the boots fit the pants. So we may pop back into the blender real quick if this doesn't line up nicely. Yeah, those are fitting fine. All right, let's pose the feet. I'm totally in the wrong spot here. Night veil, people, Genesis 9, clothing, me, outfit. So there's our belt, there's our cloak, there's our outfit. I'm going to pose the feet, and then we're going to save a foot pose. Let's see, what did I do here? Did I stick to nice even increments of 5? Maybe. That's looking kind of good. And then I can bend the toes maybe minus 10. Yep, I think that's going to work. Shift Y. Left to right. Accept that. Oops. That's better. All right, I'm going to save this as a foot pose. So we're going to say pose preset. There we go. And this is going to be night veil boots pose. And I only want to actually just save the feet. So I'm just going to check the foot and everything underneath it from there. And there. All right, now I'm going to break my Genesis 9. We're going to use the joint editor tool. I got Genesis 9 selected. I'm going to come over here and we're going to look at currently used because I need to know what these values right here are. So I'm going to copy those. You know, it's a time like this. I am going to open up my instructions just because it's kind of easy. There's my instructions. If I forget something, I just did a copy of a screen capture so I can note what these values are right here, because I'm going to need these later on. I think I gotta recheck my notes again. Dope. Okay, bake joint rotations, reset JCMs. Okay, that's why I need this. Okay, got it. Those are the joint rotations right there. So edit, bake the joint rotations, come back and reset these back to the values they were. 15.4 and 15.4. And the other one was 16.7. I think that's good. Now we do the transfer tool, is that right? Use the transfer utility. Okay, reset. So transfer utility, Genesis 9 favorites, the boots. Do not touch that. Okay. All right, it's done. 0 JCMs on the shoes, and then reverse the pose, export that out, and then I'm going to rig that as the shoes. That's the ticket. So there's the boots. We're just going to turn all of these to 0. I'm going to select that. I'm going to reapply this pose, and then we're just going to put that into the negative. And I just selected the metatarsal, and I wanted the foot. So that becomes minus 10. And that becomes 10. I could have remembered that. Minus 10. And 10. All right. Select the boots. Export that. This becomes the new shape. And then when you pose the foot, ideally, it should sort of match. Export. And I'm going to call you Boots G902. You're the new shape. That's probably good. All right, I'm going to hide this Genesis 9. And then we're going to load in another one. And we're going to bring that shape in and rig it. So import that one right there. All right, now we run the transfer tool. So to rig it from the second Genesis 9 using the second pair of boots. I can use a template this time. And the footwear template works pretty nicely with Genesis 9. So we do that. And ideally, when we pose this, it should look just about right. I may have to tweak it just a little bit. Or maybe not. That one turned out really nice. I think I'm pretty happy with that one. I'm just going to get rid of some of the extra toes in the boots, and then we're going to save those out. And also, you know what? I don't really need this other one anymore. So I'm going to delete that. I'm being bold. This has got some extra toes in it that we're going to just get rid of. Later, you'll have to check a couple of MetaHuman. All right. Hey, thanks for being here, Kiwi. It was good to see you, man. Take care. We will catch you later. All right. I got the joint editor. I'm selecting a bone. I selected a bone in the wrong thing. I want to make that unselectable. so that doesn't happen again. All right. Delete bone. Delete bone. I got to do this like 10 times. If I'm doing this for Genesis 8, I have to do it like 20 times. So I have to get rid of 2 bones in every foot. All right, that's one side done. Okay. One thing we're going to do before. Do I need to do sub D on this? I think I actually do. We're going to put a sub D modifier on the boots. Smooths it out just a little bit. Also, I'll put my generic shader on here because it just makes it easier for me to add my maps. Okay, so those are all good and ready to be saved. So let's do that. Okay, I have the boots selected. You know what? I can get rid of this extra 2 here. And also let's make sure I'm going to tweak the scene identifier if it needs it. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this extra garbage here and just say boots. Yo, Liverick, how are you doing? It's good to see you. There we go. I haven't seen you streaming for a while, so I'm not sure if you're still planning to do that ever or not, but we'll give you the shout out anyhow. I'm saving my boots now. Boop. There we go. You're gonna go right here. And is this all good? Footwear, G9. I need to change the product to say Night Veil. All right, I think we're good. I'm just going to load everything in real quick just to make sure it's working okay. That was the wrong thing. There's my cloak. There's my outfit, which I think I was putting on the wrong thing. Let's try that again. There's the outfit. There's the belt. There's the cloak. Did the cloak not come on? There we go. The cloak is parented. I didn't have it selected. So that's what the outfit's looking like so far. I'm going to start the rigging for Genesis 8. Basically, I'm going to just auto fit this to the Genesis 8 and then tweak the shapes with the Genesis 8 stuff we saved out of Marvelous Designer earlier. And if we have time, I might be able to get the boots done. So this is happy. This is looking happy. I'm gonna save this as a whip file. And I probably need, do I have a, I don't have a Night Veil folder in here yet, so let's do that. I do have a Night Veil folder. Never mind. And we'll just call you Whip. And accept that, and we should be good. All right. You know what? I'm going to do file new. Or maybe not. Daz is contemplating its navel. And the mysteries of the universe that are within. File new. Let's do that. All right, let's load in Genesis 8. Slowly it loads. There we go. All right. Um, Make sure we have Genesis 8. Do that. Genesis 9. You're just going to be full body. So a few of that stuff I did with Genesis 9, I don't have to redo now because the material names are already good and stuff like that. It still has the sub D modifiers on there. It already has the D force on there. The sub D is already applied, so I don't have to go through those steps again. I am probably going to reshape this though with the versions that we saved, although the belt's a little bit tricky because that was a little janky. Anyhow, let's make sure we got Genesis 8 and we'll load the cloak in. And you are Genesis 9, and I'm going to just call you a knee-length dress. It's going to take its time to do that. Here, let me check something here. Let's load in the Genesis 8 belt here into Blender. That one right there. So I have to fix that, and also these aren't welded like they're supposed to be. And I'm going to straighten that out. So let's see how this goes. If I merge by distance, and I think that then I'm not sure if that worked. Do I get a little bit of a weird gap down in here? I do not. Those look like they were. Okay, so that's good. Uh, Look at how janky that shape is. We'll fix that in a minute. All right, let's, at least I hope we can fix it in a minute. Night Veil outfit G9. Let's load that in. You are G9. I want you to be full body. Accept that. It's going to run off and do its thing. While it's doing that, I'm going to come in here and tweak some stuff. Can I just, yeah, that worked. All right, loop tools, circle. Loop tools, circle. G stretch. G stretch. G stretch. And then I was trying to remember, I should have done 3 of them at once because I think I can do this. G stretch. There we go. Now that's the one nice kind of neat cylinder shape, and it'll fit the belt buckle better when we put that on. And then you, I have to fix you like I did earlier. You're not supposed to be on the inside looking at. You're supposed to be over here. And then I'm just going to straighten that out. Anyhow, are you done? All right, let's fix the cloak. We're going to update the geometry on that. We'll do that one first. And hopefully the shape we exported from Marvelous Designer works with that. That one right there. Fingers crossed. I have to scale that. It's scaled just a little bit, Marvelous Designer. There we go. That worked. Yay. Let me see if I can do the same thing with the outfit. Update that. With the outfit right there. Those look about right. And that has to be scaled, and we already have that set. So that's a little bit. And then the belt, we're working on the belt right now, and hopefully that'll work. I got to clean this up, make it look a little nicer. I'm going to start by grabbing that, and we'll just flatten it. And then we'll grab that and flatten it as well. And then we'll kind of do this. And let me see if I can I'm just going to do a little bit of sliding here. Then we'll Uh-oh, I'm clipping. I'm in too close. Let's fix that. There we go. That's better. Does that look a little better? Looks a little better. All right. That looks much nicer. All right, let's see if we can export you out, and if you can, if I can update the geometry with this. The merging of the points may throw the vertex order off a little bit, though. So we'll see how this goes. Select the belt, update the base geometry, update the vertex position from file. I'm going to use that one. And ideally, I should still need to scale that. So let's see. Yeah, I think that worked. Although I got a little bit of a weirdness right in here. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. What I might do is just export it out of there and then clean it up. Oh, you know what it is? It's the smoothing. We're going to take the smoothing off it and recalculate it. I bet you that's what it is. Over in here. Mesh smoothing. If I turn that off, you know, it's still a little janky looking. What is going on in here? Is there another morph or something in here? I can probably export that out and then smooth that up and then update the base, the shape for that, I think. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's do that. I'm going to set the base resolution back to that. Or did my vertex order? You know what? My vertex order probably got jangled. So this probably isn't going to work. Probably just going to have to reload the belt and then just re-rig it that way. So I think I'm just going to do that. We're just going to get rid of that, and we'll just reload in the OBJ and rig it that way. Boom. That one right there. That's looking good. And we'll just, here, I'm just going to put the D-Force modifier on here. We'll run this and see if anything explodes or vanishes. Seems to be fine. So we'll cancel that. Reset. Select you, use the transfer tool. Genesis 8 female. Use that belt. Use the full body template. Say okay on that. I probably have to clean up the material names. All right, that's good. You know what? I do have to rename that. Say 8 femme female. And that needs to say 8 female. All right, let's do a couple of things on here. Add the D-Force modifier. Come over to the tool settings with the geometry tool. Clean up. I have to create a couple of that is loops. That is going to just be belt. That is going to be belt attachment. And then what I got to do is I have to assign belt end to that. Okie dokie, I'm too close. Can I just, there it is. So I grab that and that. I can do a loop select. And assign that to the end. And then hide that. Then come over here. Grab a couple of those and do a loop select on that. Oh. And assign that, hide that. Then I can click on this and grab all the connecteds and assign that and bring those back, and that should be good to go. We're going to do a couple things in the surfaces. We'll put our generic shader on, and we'll also make sure that my base D-Force has the bend stiffness set to 5. And I think I was just going to make this kind of stiff at 0.6 for now. Should be good. All right, let's save that belt out. I think I'm ready to save these parts out for Genesis 8. Actually, let's check the name of the belt over here in the scene identifier. Oh, and I didn't put the sub D or the smoothing on yet. All right, I'm going to clean all of this off. So that actually matches the name of the belt for G9. And while we're here, edit geometry, convert to sub D, edit geometry, add smoothing modifier. Come over here and set that to generic because I like that over the regular one. All right, memorize that, and we're ready to save these 3 parts for Genesis 8 now. So we'll do that. We'll start with the belt. And we are in the G9 file, so we're going to go over to the G8 file. And you need to say Night Veil. Is that the same thing I use here? Night Veil outfit G9, Night Veil outfit G8 female. All right, looks good. Our, what do we call a Night Veil belt? Okay. G8 female. All right, let's do the cloak. I should have. Oh, well, I'll do it. I'll get it later. Target already. No, cancel that. Let's try this again. I forgot to say cloak. That says Night Veil. And you know what? I forgot to come in here and change this. This is an accessory waist, and the rest of that looks good. And I'm going to do outfit. At some point, I'm going to separate the outfit into top, pants, and bracers. But right now, it's all outfit. It just makes it easier for me to do some other stuff. Adding morphs and things before I split it apart. All right, and you are Night Veil and outfit, and you know what? I'm just going to say wardrobe full body. Is that an option? Yep, okay. All right, let's see if we can quickly get the shoes on here in 10 minutes. I'm going to pose the legs. That's the wrong way. And then we're going to make some adjustments to fit it to Genesis 8 in Blender. And then we had you set to, I think, like 10, right? And the toe was set to -10. That didn't copy over, damn it. There we go. Are you 10? Are you -10? You do say you're -10. All right, let's export you over. I'm just going to stick it right here. G8F feet. Probably good. I didn't bother changing the resolution because I just need it as a kind of as an avatar. Let's do you. Call you G8F. So hide that. Get those feet in here. And then we're going to just tweak this to fit that a little bit better. Now we're going to use the proportional editing. And start like that. I'm going to. Do you actually just keep looping around? I guess you do. I guess that's what it is. Do I want to just slide? Slide the whole thing kind of like that. And then maybe over a little. And do that so I can kind of, I can't see where the feet are. Probably somewhere in there. All right, how are we looking? So I think that might be good. Okay, so this should work. I should be able to then take these boots here and fit them to that, and then we're going to update the shape with what we just did. And do I get an option for... Nope. So we're going to do that. I should have saved that pose. This is going to reset. There we go. Let's save the pose before I lose it. You are boot pose. And I just want the feet. Okie dokie. So my trick is I'm going to load in that clean shape as a morph target. We're going to reset this, and then we're going to update the geometry. So I grab those. I do my morph loader. I come over here. We are looking for that. Did I save those? I haven't saved you guys yet, have I? Boots G8 female, something, something, something. And then over here, boots G8 female. Blender scale looking good, except, oh no, I had the wrong thing selected again. The outfit isn't, God, I got the outfit on the wrong thing. What the frick? Oh, the outfit's just not parenting. And I'm just going to double check that. I guess I got to resave that. Anyhow, let's go back to the boots. I got 2 minutes. we're almost done. Did I not import the shape into the boots? I could have sworn I just did that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I undid it or something. I don't know. I think I got distracted. I think that's what happened. That's better. Now when I dial it in, that's the shape I want them to be in. So we're going to reset that. Select the boots. We're going to make sure we're at base. Export that out. Don't overwrite that because I might need it later. Accept that. All right, I'm going to reset the boot back to this, and then we're going to update the geometry. with what we just saved, because that's the shape that should look good in the right pose. And that's going to say 10,000. There we go. And ideally, when we put the pose on, the boots look good. Okay, now I'm going to save the boots back out. Or I'm going to save the boots. We haven't saved the boots yet. And you are wearable footwear. Wardrobe footwear is good. Product is Night Vale. Should be good. Should be fine. And that's kind of where we're going to leave off for tonight. So this is how the outfit is looking so far. Things to do. I have scabbards and knives to go onto the bracers. And then we want to model some stuff for the belt. We'll need a buckle. And then I'm going to add maybe a few things to hang off these little loops. And that's generally the direction we're heading in with this outfit. So anyhow, making good progress. My other outfit that I'm currently working on is just about, I'm in the middle of submitting it. The sassy heatwave outfit is coming along nicely. So that's how that's looking. So I got all the promos done. It's just a matter of finishing the upload and waiting for Valkyrie to do the add-on. Then I'll submit it to Daz. And then this will be after that. So that's where we are with this. I may have to tweak the breast shapes somewhat. I think it drooped a little bit, so I may update those some. We'll see. Anywho, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, if you're on the YouTube, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe if you can. If there's anybody still hanging out on Twitch, that's great. Let's go and find somebody to go raid. So we're going to do that. Hey, thanks for being here, Esrom. You are awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Rod, always a pleasure. Hey, tell Joe we're wishing her the best. And hope that she's home sooner. And let's see who's on Twitch tonight. I was kind of lurking Catherine, but I think I stopped, and she's probably done anyhow. But we'll see. Twitch. Let's do this, and let's see who's on. Yeah, take care, Rod. That's wrong. She ended an hour ago. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Rift Critter is on, but she's got 33 people. Irumakin is on with 13 doing the puzzle stuff. We might do Irumakin. Actually, I'm scrolling down. If Real Fun Studio is on, we will raid her, but I don't see her on tonight. DJ Ray is on. I do raid DJ Ray an awful lot, but he's pretty cool, so I like raiding DJ Ray. So if there's anybody here on Twitch, we're just going to go over and hang out with our good buddy DJ Ray tonight. I think we'll do that. I'm just double checking, making sure. If Bad Tooth Records is on, I will raid him, but I haven't seen him in the last couple of weeks. Zyrastana is on, but we raided her like a couple weeks ago. So I'm good for another few weeks. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Hey, feel free to buy my stuff at Daz. That would be cool. Also, if you haven't joined the Discord, always feel free to join the Discord. If you post stuff in the gallery at the Discord, we share it on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Saturday Night Social. Also in the Discord, I do announce whether I am going to make my planned streaming days or not. Next planned streaming day is in 2 days, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will probably be working on this outfit. I'm not sure where we'll be with it. I think I'll probably make some progress on it tomorrow, but it may be time to start. We may be doing texturing. And also we still have to bring in the, I still have accessories to make, although I'm probably going to start on the belt stuff tomorrow. Or I might just be doing Morse tomorrow. We'll see. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Let's go over and say hi to DJ Ray, our good friend. And tonight, Ray seems to be playing solitaire or something. I'm not sure. While spinning the tunes. It sounds like oldies night over on DJ Ray's. So stick around. How do we do this again? / raid. Hey, here's the raid calls. If you can join the raid. If you're not a subscriber, you get to use that one. If you are a subscriber, you can use the sub raid call. And let's do / raid. Go over and say hi to Ray. Did that work? I can't tell. Yes, it did. Alrighty. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have a good rest of a Tuesday or Wednesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet, like Mr. Kiwi Hawk. And hasta la vista, baby.